It's like if Sentinels does open with the Venom comp that they've run a lot, right? You would like having the option of using the more with Luna. You now don't have that option, Jake.
I do think it's.
Please show the pic of the toilet.
I think they want to ban.
You want to see the bowl? You want to see the bowl?
That can be like super.
3 tanks are banned. Yeah.
The stability that double Luna ult gives you.
That does mean Venom will probably get played.
Especially for teams like Sentinels, who I think really.
Wait, 3 tanks? Wait, no, 2 tanks.
Maybe for Team Envy, maybe a little bit more.
Right, just Strange and Mag.
To come out. So I think there's a logic.
Unless I missed it.
Also blocks the Namor team up, which is another problem for this aggressive dive setup. But honestly,
oh Groot, Groot. Sorry, I didn't see that.
I'm just curious
Fuck
what
Groot.
the lineup is overall because typically
fuck Groot.
I mean, at least one of those is almost a perma pick right now in Rivals, so we're gonna see something new here.
I actually like Sentinel's pick here. I like the Thor. I don't. Yeah, that's fine actually.
You could have that with the Loki and get the triple little team up there, but Kalush on Thor, I think it's overall going to be probably pretty strong. Yeah, and
no, play Thor. Oh, I like Thor. He's cool to see. I don't know. Fine, we play the thing. It's kind of. It's not a mirror match. Not even close, actually. This is not even close. You guys don't. You guys always see mirror matches. Look at this. We don't got one. It's actually a different kind of matchup here.
Has a really powerful front to back poke here, so the strategists are going to need to be working overtime for Sentinels.
And for Sentinels,
I feel like Sentinels doesn't have. I'm surprised I got that pick, by the way. Remix had to have fucked up. A Venom dying like that is surprising. Remix had to have fucked up there.
That was a pretty big mistake. Did he have adaptive shield? He just didn't pop it in time. He got bursted so
and
fast.
Gomez is dead.
Remix though trades back onto Super Gomez.
And Cal's dead.
Pressured out.
And Gomez is back because of self-res.
With Cal dropping, it ends up being worth it, and Sentinels really leveraging this composition and the team up for their advantage.
Yeah, right now it hasn't been much of team fights, just been pick-offs.
This is where you play Hawkeye. I am just saying, Hawkeye would go hard here. If I'm Envy, I'm playing Hawkeye. Just saying. No biggie.
Laying damage from the back. There we go. Invisible boundary going to be used pretty early into the fight. Envy looking for
what the fuck was that?
Got Mischief setting that up. Meanwhile,
what?
Gomez, Galactic Legend going to be popped into the back.
Aramori.
Gets one already. Invisible woman down. And nice, easy cleanup here, Jake, for the Sentinels.
It's easy, but it is expensive.
All good. They cleaned up, but am I crazy to say that Envy used a support ult so far back? All they needed to do was kite, and they didn't even need their support ults. Sentinels didn't even need them. They just needed to walk back to point, hide around this rock here. They're good to go.
Again right now. So, or rather, it's NK on the Winter Soldier. So
oh, here comes a fucking, here comes a booyah. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on, Kalush. Come on, Kalush. I don't know who I'm rooting for, by the way. I'm just rooting for a good match. King of the Hill's never a good match, though. Game mode sucks. Aramori got picked. Sag. Nice shots, nice shots, nice shots. Okay, stop, stop, stop. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
Setting up Envy here for this fight. Gods of Death kind of forced out by Cal. Nearly
Kurova's fucking owning.
Being a real threat, but here we go. Cracking impact.
No value, no value, no value.
No, and I think
dude, finding a good Bucky ult is so hard. I know it seems easy, but it actually has its difficulties. Especially if you're the only one that has ult and it's all on you. Because then you know you have no support. You know nobody's going to help you set up the ult well. And it's just you hoping to find a moment, and you'll never find that moment.
It's very slow reaction from Envy. I think pretty weak performance from them getting an opening pick and not being ready to convert. I
feel like you have to ban Warlock against Sentinels. Cal's really good at Warlock though. So I don't know. I think they left. I think Envy left it open because ego. They're assuming that they could do it better, and they're gonna try now.
Around on the first map of domination.
I think you make a good point when it comes to the ult economy there, where, yeah, you get a free pick, and there's that devil on your shoulder that's saying, you can do it for free. But it takes so long to actually finish out fights in Rivals that I think you just have to settle for the light option, right? You know, maybe you use, like, one ultimate instead of 2 or 3, and you're okay with that. I think full greed, barring exceptional circumstances, may not be the play, but, you know, take a look as both teams come out here. You do have some change-ups coming in for Envy.
I actually think that this duelist triple strategist setup makes a lot of sense with Strange and
this is a mirror
band Groot as well. Like you're missing all of your traditional frontline vanguards.
Yep,
And so as good
it's a
as
mirror.
Hela and Winter Soldier are, they just don't have enough room to work with how dynamic the game is in this Vanguard matchup. Sentinels
Well, we had
very
one match
slow
where it
run
wasn't a
over
mirror
the
match.
They're gonna let Envy take position and look to go for a counter dive. But Super Gomez has a relatively uncontested legendary here.
Yeah, immediately drops
Wow.
Galactic Legend into the back,
Nice
just
pick.
pummels NK. Knew his target, went for it. However, the resurrection is immediately there with the Adam Warlock team up, so the advantage may be short-lived. Hogs.
It's a cool Star-Lord skin, actually. I just wish it was animated. That's why I like the other Star-Lord skin, because it's animated.
Still in control of the fight, Jake.
They forced the ult from Amazing, but the flip already came in, so every
Dude, Sentinels has so many better ults.
Advantage here for Sentinels. See if they're going to be able to stabilize Korova. A great candidate be on. You notice
Jeez.
the Adam Warlock, and there's a full burst onto Paintbrush.
Wait.
That's just a fight over Korova on the signature pickoff. I think this is something that many teams have respect banned against Sentinels, and that's why.
Did they kill Mantis through ults? Or did the ult just happen to end? I think the ult ended, actually. Never mind.
With what he's playing off on Warlock, it is actually ridiculous where you're getting that level of contribution from your strategist line. Really, really effective now. 40% for Sentinels. Well on their way to their map 1 victory here. Envy needs something good to happen their way as Remix is just getting pummeled before he's even able to get in.
Great position here from the Venom. Hogs waiting over the top, ready to dive that back line. Aggressive move in now. Venom
Holy shit, Loki almost died.
Strategist. NK though with that legendary looking to pop off now.
NK needs to find something here, but Gomez on the other side. Galactic Legend.
They used Lamp and Soulbound. They have nothing. They have Lamp and Soulbound. They could literally just destroy all of them, and that's what they're doing. Gomez for sure called that out. For sure, right? Gomez absolutely said they used Bound and Lamps. Let him know.
Right now, their dives coming in so much more coordinated, so much more aggressive. That sync with that.
Envy hasn't looked impressive at all. It's domination, man. I would ignore it. I wouldn't worry too much about this. I know that sounds really lame to say, but I would absolutely ignore this game mode. I think it's dog shit.
In the balance, Envy making their final push out towards the point.
He got body blocked. Yo.
Here we go. Galactic Legend in NK looking for anything. Was able to get Korova down early. A huge pickoff here, Jake.
They're gonna win a fight. Let's go. We're back. They got all rezzed. And Korova rezzed, Cal rezzed. No more rezzes. Cal's dead, but it's fine. There's Rez is still active. Nobody's gonna die. Rez is about to end now. If you die now, you're out of the game. Cal's out of the game.
Where's that gonna go right now? As you look here, Gomez into the back line.
Venom's about to be out of the game. Look, Venom. Oh, never mind. Fuck it. There we go. All right, they won. Wait, they all res. They got self-reses. They got self-reses. Hold on. Wait. The self-res. The Guardian comp. It's never mind. Still doesn't matter. Okay.
But it's going to be too little, too late. Kaluj dominating on the objective, and that's
map
one.
That's map 1.
And gotta be honest here, Envy.
Dominant
This is looking
nation.
like a very dominant victory for Sentinels if the series keeps progressing as this map did.
Yeah, and I think for me, as interesting it was where, we had a lot of airtime and look at Super Gomez setting up on the Star-Lord and, of course, grabbing MVP at the end. But to me, I'm looking at other contributors that are making things easy for players like Super Gomez, and you have to look at Korova. What Korova was able to do on the Adam Warlock was
all right. Well,
those kills,
that was somewhat expected on a domination mode, so we'll see how this next one goes.
Fantastic showing of why Adam Warlock can be so devastating, and for Envy, you think about, Jake, so many of these fights started where they were down a person in the neutral before they even used their first ultimate. It's very hard to win in Rivals when that's your setup.
Yeah, and Hogs and Kaluj.
Why are the names kind of blurry?
Vanguards, right? Like that's how you get that 100-0 domination. That you're able to just have those tank line permanently.
Because you're watching a streamer watch a stream, and you're watching that stream. So it's a stream within a stream for you. So you're technically at a double loss of quality.
Back in their court, but man, that's a rough one. You got to think maybe that ban on Doctor Strange, taking out some of those core frontlining Vanguards was a mistake with Envy wanting to play the more long-range duelist style.
So, and of course, we're bringing you back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No, so we're bringing you back in. What do you like?
I liked kind of everything there from
They
Sentinels.
talked over each other twice.
Want to see them play some 2-2. Maybe that's something they're going to be saving for these future maps as Envy gets into their map picks, or maybe even they're just keeping it in the back pocket, assuming that they can make it to that rematch versus 100 Thieves. Either way,
dudes watching on an 8K TV.
I was fully expecting to kind of just see the whole Asgardian team up coming through there from the squad, but
do you think rotating hills would make domination better?
But comp overall just gorgeous from Sentinels. And I mean, Jake talked about it, 0 deaths really on that front line, and it was only what, 7 deaths total for Sentinels throughout the map.
Maybe, I don't know.
Not something that you want to be seeing.
I mean, I don't know what would be better without testing it, right? Like they would have to try out different ways of domination for it to.
Gomez completely just off the leash here, completely uncontained from Envy. And
Jesus.
shut this guy down.
Yeah, and again, when I looked at this, you can point to a lot of factors, but for me, it was just the neutral game. The fact is that you
Body
cannot...
bot from Kaluj, so sick, actually.
Yeah. Kaluj is great, by the way. When it comes to that level of situational awareness, whether it be on heroes like that or on the Strange, I mean, Kaluj is great about, like, by the way, I'm in the doorway, I'm going to step out at the right time and make things difficult for you. But it goes back to this idea of neutral game where Sentinels was winning.
I feel like if domination was like a different mode completely, it'd be better. I just think the King of the Hill mode is bad, right?
Yeah, and,
they would need to drastically change the entire mode. Like, they would need to do like 3 points or 4 points or some sort of tug of war system where,
I think while they might have strong individuals in a comp like that with the
like, if you win, you get closer to their base, which is easier for them. But if you win their base, you actually win the game. And vice versa, right? Other way around. It just needs, I think it just needs a major overhaul. I can't even consider it domination. Like, it's not, the game mode is not domination. The game mode is King of the Hill.
Very strong, shrugging off the loss from last week, but also the communication between the team and the synergy that they're bringing to the table is
not in a way that
Envy is going to have to
King of the Hill even works. King of the Hill usually like King of the Hill is usually like
damage coming through, boom, it's called out. Gomez is swooping in. He's able to
a match is X amount of time, and you have to sit on the hill for more time than the other team. But it's not even like that. It's like first to 100%. If it was more traditional King of the Hill, maybe it'd be even better. I don't know.
You know, I think there is a road to victory though for Envy. I think what they need though is to ensure that they have a more stable tanking front line. I think it was pretty clear that like on this dive Vanguard frontline, I think they're just outclassed. I think Sentinels are way too comfortable. When you take that many Vanguards out, and like this triple strategist looks way better. I think with
Capture the Flag would not work, unfortunately. As cool of a mode that is. We're going to Midtown. Wait, Envy's a fucking, that's a Giga Chad move. Envy knows Sentinels is really good at Midtown. They want to challenge him. Okay.
Have a bit of a shield tank, let players like
this is Sentown, baby.
I think that's going to be a much more
it's a ballsy approach
in terms of the matchup for Team Envy.
You know, I gotta say here, as we're waiting to get in the lobby, NA lobby stuff just continues to be very entertaining. You know, a little bit of password-related issues, but we figured it out. And looking into Midtown now, I think for me, Seth, as I'm looking at this, what I'm curious to see here for Envy is, I feel like once you get off domination, you start really getting into the idea of what is a team prepped on. You get more map-specific strategies on longer maps in Convoy and Convergence. And we'll get to see if they have anything in the tank that at the very least can surprise Sentinels from what we saw in the last map. I think for me too, I think anytime you have a team that...
I think another reason why domination sucks and why I think it doesn't work is because when you play Convoy or Convergence, you're not just running a straight line, you're kind of... Sometimes your strategy is run that straight line and brute force through. Sometimes your strategy is split, flank, you know, play the sidelines and height and different angles. But with domination, there just isn't enough time. You don't have enough time to map out where you're going to go. And it doesn't even matter because where you're going to go is going to be perfectly mirrored every single time. The way domination maps work is they're just linear maps, and if a team rotates down, the defending team that has the point will also rotate down to guard it. If they rotate up, they'll rotate up. But in payload, and Convergence and stuff where you can split them up a little bit and you have time to do that, it makes it more interesting to watch and play. So if they could just they could just keep the domination mode as it is, but maybe slightly change these maps a little bit to make it so that you can split up a little bit more, might be a little bit better.
Playing choices such as the Hela and the Winter Soldier, so I like this.
Or maybe you just make the cap slower so that you have a longer match, more time to build alts, more time to make actual rotates around the map. I don't know. Anyway, it needs to change, and I'm sure they know that. I'm sure they've heard tons of feedback on domination. So group ban from Sentinels protected Luna. The Thing ban and Envy bans Strange. Protect Mag. Probably going to ban Loki? Maybe? Are they going to ban Loki? Are they going to ban Adam? Envy has a lot of choices to make here. Is it going to be a Loki ban or an Adam ban? My guess is they ban Adam. And they say, screw it, we're not going to deal with Kurova's Adam. Never mind. Interesting. Okay, so their Envy's approach is, if we ban Star-Lord, Kurova won't play Adam Warlock. Which might actually be true. I don't know. I'm not actually sure. Hey, Shroud, just a few questions. Have you ever played Team Fortress 2? And if so, who's your favorite class? Yeah, I played TF2 for sure. Dude, I have like 500 hours of TF2. I know it's not a lot, but I mean, it's a decent bit. Sniper. Huntsman Sniper.
On certain Convergence and Convoy maps than he is on Domination, just by nature of
giving them the Wolverine on Midtown super questionable.
So Sentinels, Jake, they go into this, they go, actually, we don't want to deal with that whatsoever.
Yeah, you know, and I think honestly, whether it's the Star-Lord or the Adam Warlock ban, I kind of think these bans are almost the same ban. Like they're
not playing Wolverine.
Like, you ban one or the other, and you're
actually no, you can't play Wolverine.
Warlock,
you're not gonna play Wolverine. Groot's banned.
Like it really is.
Playing Wolverine without Groot is
incentivizing you strongly to pick that strategist. Without getting those,
playing Wolverine without Groot's pretty hard.
Mantis, Star-Lord, not nearly as
like you could do it, but its value is a little lower in my opinion.
So either way, I think gets the job done. Sentinels see the rollout. Aramori on.
It'll be better on defense. You can play Wolverine on defense. You just can't really attack. It's hard to attack when there's no Groot.
Yeah, so she's gonna swap, but I kind of like that tech strat for like just letting Kaluj walk out with the team up, pop it on cooldown, and like it's a pretty innovative.
Kurova just got smoked. I don't even know where this happened. Kaluj is one.
Right place, right time as Cal just pops off.
Absolutely worked.
Some hella action completely stymieing the Sentinels off the rip.
They're not at the use play? No, they play after this.
Looking to get more, and I think that's a player that I highlighted for Envy. I think it's a player who needs to pop off, especially on Midtown, where there's going to be a lot of emphasis on the Hela duel. Super Gomez, I think, hasn't been quite as storied on the Hela. I think of him more as a flanker player. So whether or not he's able to take this matchup to Cal is going to be a big question for Sentinels.
Okay, looking at Remix, was able to get the early grab here. Now a little bit of pressure onto Hela, waiting for the dive. See the Magneto shield come out, but Remix getting good solid damage in his space on the other end. Finds Gomez. The front line for Envy looking far better on Midtown so far. Cal will pick up one off on the side, and the neutral game looking completely redefined right now, Jake, for Envy from map 1 to map 2.
Yeah, big value being found by the defensive Hela here.
So weird.
Move the card up little by little, but so many picks have gone.
Oh, he lives.
Starting to think, yeah, maybe they need that reset. And Super Gomez, see how he tries to get into this, but Cal is just working.
They have big ults.
It feels like every time they walk up, it's
from Envy,
an opening on the
which is
Sentinels aren't even really
kind of backwards
in the face of that kind of pressure.
You'd think Sentinels would have really good ults right now. They're getting there though. They're getting there.
But they do have ultimates coming online. Sentinels ult cycling has been amongst the best here so far, so we'll see what Kaluj does here early on. I do think the Strange bans, by the way, now that I think of it, is more targeted at Kaluj. Kaluj is really good at Strange, and I think while he's not bad at the rest of his Vanguards, clearly Strange has been his best hero. So, you know, Kaluj having the work maybe a little bit out of his comfort zone where it'd rather be Strange, but Remix gets caught. Couldn't get away, sets up the 6v5
Jesus.
now. Sentinels have resources to throw in, and for Envy, do you throw ults into a disadvantaged fight or do you wait?
They are going to pop the Luna Snow ultimate, so they're going to double down. Kurova is stunned and bursted. Cal with another critical pickoff, just carrying the squad right now for Envy. The hero that the team needs is going to pop that Goddess of Death. Meteor M from space as well, dumped in over the top, but Sentinels, Strategist ults are looking to do enough. Super Gomez does win that duel, and Cal in real trouble. Doesn't have much to stay alive. Over the top now, Kaluj with the Meteor M. And it seems
dude, Envy put up a great fight. Envy actually put up a great fight. Wait, what? Kurova ulted?
Remix picked up Gomez on the back line, but that's kind of a stagger. Not a lot of benefit there. Wasn't able to get a little bit of stall onto the convoy.
Interesting.
And now you look where Envy is. This should potentially just roll in. It's gonna be close if we get a touch or not. Like really,
if Envy gets
close.
A fight, it's good though, because Super Gomez pretty slow off the respawn. So I think this actually could be valuable.
That's
for
crazy.
However,
I guess the only person that could have touched was Remix, and he was the last one live, so I guess it makes sense.
So Sentinel's gonna be happy with that, finding the match.
Hey, what can you do? It's hella. It happens. It happens. It's not your fault, man. Listen, it's not your fault.
On this defense, Remix for still holding the front line and diving in now, pushing past the choke. This is a risky move, very close to the attacker spawn. Big dump of resources.
They're pushing because Luna is down though. Off the Cal pick, Envy I think correctly.
Oh, they're gonna do combo. Here comes the whale. Here comes the whale. You gotta kill.
The horn blown, catches one. Kurova getting hit by NK.
And a squid kill.
Absolutely,
bro, Envy's playing very well. This is great. They have him in their spawn. Look at how much time they wasted off this cap.
In a lot of these fights, Jake.
Very, very well.
To the spawn is big, but it's a quick
I want Envy to win.
I think in the end, they're not too worried about
just because, like, I like close
deeper,
games.
I think it will become more costly. Now Envy only has
Sentinels are my goats. Okay.
For something on the flank, he's been the opener time and time again. Got to be very
Cal.
cautious, keep it away from that Loki. Cal looking for more, constantly playing this third-person peek, looking for all those opportunities. Such a thorn in the side of Sentinels as they try to walk forward.
Also, even just taking down the Loki clones, reducing Loki's effectiveness a bit. NK, though, finds Gomez. The early pick. Amazing, though. Drops the horn, and it's big. Gets two. Kaluj, meanwhile, Meteor M. And the ultimate usage for Sentinels. Absolutely sublime here on the second point.
Yeah, just an underrated aspect of
if Sentinels gets a little bit of resistance, they might. This might be a walk-in. If they can, like, if Envy could fight him one more time before this cart gets to the end here on the second point, that's pretty good because then they could get him to 0. Let's see. Fighting him like around here would be pretty huge, rather than letting it walk as far as it might walk.
Hard to blame them, but
ooh,
I would say this
is he flanking?
Is a scary prospect with how Cal's been
Yeah, and you're gonna see Cal go even more
he's dead.
here.
Oh god, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead. No, he's dead. He fucked up. Cal fucked up so bad. That's okay. That's okay.
Really good for Sentinels. They get rid of the Cal,
you know, these things happen.
6 on 5, and Kaluj now just gets the walk forward a bit. However, Remix somehow gets Gomez into the back.
If Envy wins this fight,
Fate of both worlds going to be popped here. Sentinels looking to
they'll get that overtime fight maybe at the end.
Death on deck. Sleepy got a mischief, buying time for Envy to get back to full strength. Also got Pink, decent pick.
Oh.
Proteus blocked though by that Loki.
W lamp.
Now Venom under a lot of pressure. Remus forks back. This is a
they have great ults. Sentinels has great ults.
Continue to leverage, pushing
they win this, I think. I think they walk it in. It's not even gonna get to 0.
Looking to get active here. Maybe won't even need it though, as the pickup's starting to really come through now for Team Sentinels. It is going to be Pop cracking coming in, but was blocked.
Wait. Hold on. Kurova is dead. They only have one healer.
Yeah, I mean, Space Gang 1 though off the
no support ults, but Envy's about to get theirs. Wait. They might actually full hold this. There's no strange TPs here. Never mind. They won. Damn. Envy actually almost won that, dude. I don't know like the fine details of what happened and how those picks went across because it was spectating a lot of different people there, but damn, that was close.
Yeah,
we got a game on our hands.
We talked about the risk of Marvel Rivals of, trying to win those fights off picks and not dumping ultimates, but when you can
I'm confused. Is this different than the Friday Sunday tournament? Yeah, this is Rivals Fight Night. It's a weekly community tournament. Once a week, a couple teams play against each other.
Have those as the difference maker, especially looking for that.
Think of it as like a little show match. Every week.
With Paintbrush's ult, look for that combo one shot I talked about earlier.
I mean, we're gonna see whales flying on both sides here, right? Amazing looking looking Cal though. See if Cal can do it in the neutral once more before anything is even popped. in the storyline.
Sentinels has combo.
In this game so far.
Envy's
Right
about to
now,
have combo.
teams taking their time neutral, building
I
up
feel
the
like...
ultimates. Nearly a full bank for Sentinels
What? That's a
here.
spot?
We'll see where this goes, but now Envy
Oh,
decided to move
combo.
in.
Double whales. Double whales. One whale.
Horn
Lamped.
popped.
Second
Nothing
whale.
happening there.
Blocked.
See the counter, fade both worlds in. Both whales have been dropped. Both teams still full, but Paint getting caught at the end from Kaluj with the M. Key advantage here from
No.
Cal into
The
air.
Hella ult
Gotta
counter.
popped, and Cal likely going to be brought immediately back down. Rough position being here is Hella looking for anything right now. Flies off to
Yo,
the
this
side,
spot is so sick. What the fuck?
In over the top. Hogs gets
Yo,
one.
Cal.
Gets the hit onto Kurova.
Okay, I don't know why he
Gets
dropped,
another
but
versus
hey.
gets Sleepy back into the fight here, Jake.
He was feeling
Envy, though,
confident.
still push back a bit.
It's a big pickoff, gets an opportunity here for Envy, but they've lost so many players, and Namor
Damn.
that unstoppable force.
I actually thought Envy was about to win that.
It is overtime.
When do we think a LAN event happens?
No more mistakes, and it's a full
I don't know.
now. No teams have
A
any
year,
ultimates
maybe?
online.
Depends. A community LAN or an official LAN? An official LAN, my guess is a year. A community LAN,
Now both teams looking for an opener, keeping the pressure on. Heavy,
probably
but
about the same.
It's risky. You can see how quick
The
even the
touch.
vanguards drop.
You need the touch right now. They're almost at the very end. Finally, Envy in onto the point. Remix first.
They had a little bit more
Gets
time to
barrier
touch.
From Magneto. Gomez, though, the huge pickoff onto Cal at the start. Now the Cal threat is gone. Envy gonna have to win 5 versus 6.
Nice reset on Clone.
Right now.
He can't
Envy
use his
flies
ult.
this
He
way
can't
all the
use
way.
his
Looking,
ult.
gets
The
one,
fucking
keeps
Earthbound from the
Sleepy
whale.
the
What a
turn.
broken ass
Amazing.
character.
A horn of his own, ready to go. Another whale about to fly.
Oh, big, big, big combo,
Where is it
combo,
gonna go?
combo,
Envy,
combo.
they still need to stand
Damage,
point
damage,
all the
damage.
while here, Jake. Right,
I think he
Mason
LOS'd
goes
it.
down,
Am I
horn,
crazy?
hogs the back, devours Cal. It should be
Wow,
Sentinels
well
bringing
done.
it home.
Holy shit,
Nice
well
burst
done from
timing
Sentinels.
Hogs waiting for that secondary skill to pop before committing with the ultimate, getting that instant burst onto Hella. The Sentinels get
Hannah
it
needs
over
my
the
help for
line
2
there, but
seconds.
That was hard fought. That was much closer, I'd say, than map 1. And I give a lot of credit to Cal in this map, right? So many times Envy is finding the early pickoffs on the defense from Cal, just finding openers, especially think about first point. It was looking like a little scary there for the Sentinels, and they end up going away from the Hella duel. Pretty interesting with how strong we've seen Hella be historically.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes it's just the move you need to do, right? Like, there's no shame in being like, hey, I'm getting diffed right now. Time to swap. It's not the greatest feeling in the world, but
I mean, there's a little bit of shame. There's a little bit of shame.
There is a little bit of shame, but it's like, okay, let's clarify. It's still the better move to swap if you are getting diffed. But look, what I found interesting to me too is that we didn't see it a lot in the first map. I also thought the NV front line between Remix and Space had some really good moments, especially on first point defense, right? Like, it wasn't just Cal applying the pressure. Remix and Space were actually funneling Sentinels into some unfavorable spots, giving Cal the room to find those pickoffs. So, you know, I do wonder how much of here is Envy leveling up as time goes on. And, you know, it's just all the hallmarks of they're a good team, but they're not polished yet.
All right, we're good. We're back.
Yeah, I think Paintbrush went down way too much for my liking there, especially on defense.
No
I feel
Wolverine on
Kalu
defense
in
either.
particular was able to constantly find that pickoff, which, you know, we talked about this early in the round. When you lose your Luna Snow, it really takes the legs out from under the composition. For now, Paintbrush rolling on the Invisible Woman looked to maybe to pop a barrier and keep the fight rolling. Both teams on a relative mirror, but Gomez.
Why is Venom such a good
sticking with
tank?
Winter Soldier, willing to let Cal have the dominance in terms of
This
the
is
Cal,
annoying.
valuing the team play that Winter Soldier offers, and Remix is going to have to be very cautious with those moves.
Venom's good on these maps where like the fights aren't so like look at the map right now. You have a couple people in a room, you have a couple people on a bridge. At some point somebody's going to fall and separate. Venom's really good when the fights are like this where it's like these pockets.
As Remix comes in, getting the hook ready, looking for the finish. Instead, goes for space. A little bit extra damage on the Magneto.
When you could like
Cal
split
goes
people
straight,
up and
Jake.
kind of pressure them,
Pick off on the Aramori.
Venom's are good.
And the Envy offense is looking supercharged with the 2 Cal picks.
Cal with the headshots time and time again. It's what makes the difference. Super Gomez trades it back, though, extremely low on the flank. It's turning scrappy.
Does Shroud's Wallet play yet? No, we don't play today.
A little bit more health in the tank space. Starting to work this cleanup. Cart going to be rolling forward for Envy, and that first point choke that was so difficult for Sentinels goes down very quickly to Team Envy.
Yeah, I mean, Sentinels will get one more contest here. I think they have enough time to touch and go from there. The problem is, ult-wise, it's not great. I mean, they're really going to be banking on Kaluj to open up with Meteor M and create an opening for Gomez to get some Kraken impact chains. It's what they're looking for here. We'll see how this one goes. Remix for now, on the wall. A little bit of pressure, looking for his counterport. Forces out the shield.
Venom also
From the
combos
enemy
with
Venom.
Luna really
He's
well.
online.
So that's nice.
Envy holding on to ult, so is Sentinels right now. Who's going to be the first to break? Remix Forced back, but now good. Fate of both worlds, though, opened up here by Envy. Remix going in turn. Says it's time to feast. Gomez responding. Kraken impact. Gets the reset number 1.
Ryan's so far from ult. Come on, 3%. Ryan, get your ult. Get your ult, or Kurova's going to lose combo. And they lost. Envy with a better attack.
Yeah,
Envy with a much better attack.
Online, Murray wasn't
so
able
far.
to find the opportunity to get hers off, and that leaves Envy getting the cap. It was expensive.
I hate when the commentators call ults
They
their
get it
real
done.
name. Actually
So
cringe.
much time on the clock now, and it's got to look at Sentinels.
I mean, it's an easy way to explain it.
Last engagement, definitely a mistake from them here on Midtown as Envy looked to potentially cap with more time.
Yeah, and when you look at the situation here, I mean, Sentinels, this first fight should be pretty economical for them. I mean, they can open God of Mischief into the Luna clone. They can open
Good freeze.
Horn,
He missed his first shot, or else he would have killed her.
Punished. That would have been economical and then some, but also on that same note, Hogs getting forced back. But God of Mischief could be used here early by Aramori into a little bit of clone dancing.
Sleepy used lamps, I think.
The Horn ready. You see the damage boost ready.
Nice whale.
The Horn comes down. And the counterpart Luna going down in turn.
Damn, they did a double combo. You see that shit?
Really nicely executed.
They comboed Whale
Yeah,
and they comboed Venom ult.
That's definitely something great that the viewers can take to home, is where you pop that secondary skill on Venom, setting up for that nuke to come in, and then right when it pops is when you pop the ultimate, and it almost is a one-shot combo, right? If you time it perfectly, especially with the damage amp, it pretty much gets over the line there. So great setup for Sentinels. It's a fight they really needed to win. Now defending with a little bit better position. We'll see how they elect to take this fight from the high ground.
Envy, a better spot in ult-wise here to kick off this.
This character's so jank for me, dude. So jank. The way the character runs on the walls, the way the character swings, it feels so shitty. I can't do it.
But for now, Sentinels, Hogs, a little bit of zoning. Now into the back, the opportunity gone, and Cal's flank is punished early, putting Envy in a really tough spot here, Jake, where I don't know if they want full disengage, but if they don't, it could turn away, but they get Amazing back to even.
Is this match live, bro? Yeah. What else would it be?
Super deep into the backline is going to get bailed out though by some strategist ults from Envy. So far, they're not able to find the lockdowns, but there it is from.
He swapped damage. You guys see that? He swapped damage. Kurova swapped damage with the Magneto ult. So funny.
Massive threat right now for Sentinels, one that you cannot ignore, especially when the ultimates are online.
I think when it comes to Kaluj, whether he's on the Magneto or the Strange Jake, he might be one of the highest efficiency at getting value out of his ultimates out of any player we've seen across all regions.
Yeah, and that Meteor M, I think, is such a bellwether for your Vanguards, right? Like, if they're just using it to defend people and, you know, to keep them alive, it's like the minimum value. But the Meteor M, when it's able to one-shot a backliner, just completely turns the game on its head. And Kaluj has been the one fighting that so many times. Amazing, rather, Remix getting nuked super hard there by Amazing, has to pop the shield and back off.
NK got Amazing. Amazing wasn't able to get away. Sets up the man advantage now for Envy. Envy gonna go in even deeper. Fate of both worlds used. A space with the Meteor M. 2 up as they look to just burn ultimates, secure the advantage. Hogs, though, gonna feast in turn. Sentinels trying to burn something the turn. They use the cloned Luna.
They still got a minute.
Aramori. Kaluj, though. Meteor M. Can he do it again? Kaluj is waiting, looking. Can't get it this time. NK, though, down. Goss Death in from Cal.
Jesus.
Cal looking for anything.
Hell ults die so fast.
Avoiding the worst of it. Amazing back into the fight. Ready to blow the horn.
Swap damn, swap damn.
The horn is used, drops it, and gets it onto paint in the back.
So massive. That was a better strategy assault for Envy. They had
damn.
The long
that was a good hold.
The burst combo comes through, found by Amazing, and it turns everything on its head. Envy down, lacking the damage to follow through on that Loki.
Okay,
Luna Snow ultimate.
40 seconds.
Once again,
40 seconds. Sentinels has nothing, but Envy also doesn't really have anything either.
But they've been winning it time and time again.
It's fucking crazy.
With all this structure destroyed, it looks pretty scary here.
Oh, it's. I think this is over. I don't think there's enough time to build ults. Unless NK can hit the nastiest whale that's natty. A natty whale
to an extent. I mean,
is the difference maker here. Seriously.
It really hurts their positioning for what could be the final fight. NK, a little bit quiet for a little bit now. The horn is ready to be blown. Not going to have the Luna back up here, either from the Loki clone or the Luna herself. So NK, we'll see how it works out. Bogzo into the back here. Gets hit with the freeze. We'll see if the follow through is there. Forces out the regen domain early. Hogs forcing resources to be burned into the backline. Envy, meanwhile, has to go forward. We are in overtime, and the Venom is just such a huge threat into the back right now. Hogs able to get away, still healthy. Gomez, cracking impact used. Meanwhile, space off the Meteor M gets wall.
Well,
Envy still in a decent spot here in the
no whale.
Fate of both worlds get used here by Pain.
No whale.
On deck for Envy as they look to stay alive.
What?
Now on to NK.
Okay,
The Horde
he keeps
waiting
whale.
down, takes down Super Gomez. The Horde can put in over the top. Waiting is NK.
Ooh, nice NK, nice.
Still waiting here. Sentinels though down one. Jake as Envy pushes the advantage.
Holy shit, they're actually winning. He still has whale. Sleepy has ult. Kurova has ult, but dead in overtime, so 12-second respawn. Kurova's the win condition here for Envy, but yeah, he's dead, and I don't think he's gonna make it.
I think that will be Team Envy.
I don't think he's gonna make it.
Fuck.
All right, they got a minute and a half. Minute and a half to defend.
But Jake getting the final point here on Midtown, easier said than done. Sentinels by all metrics ahead in the tempo on the map. And I think you have to look at here and go, they need economy, they need Cal to get some neutral picks more than anything else.
I know he was about to die, but like, all right.
The combo comes through, and there it is from Amazing. The sync has been beautiful from this Sentinels.
Fuck it, that was great. I wouldn't have done that. But you know, I'm also bad. It's fine. Oh, this is so tough. They're being held in spawn a whole minute. They need to play perfectly from here on out. Okay.
Hold on. What are you looking at, bro?
Cop bro, third person peeking is what just happened there. Cal does not miss those when the target is not moving at all, which would be expected at this level of play. So Cal, early pickoff onto a distracted Super Gomez, sets up.
No, they missed whale.
Momentum now. Gets the other pick on
they technically didn't even really need it.
Tells Hogs what's up. Forces out the Venom shield. I don't think Hogs is getting away from this one so much as he wants.
They're winning this fight, but the cart is moving so slowly. The cart is moving so slowly.
Sleepy though does pop the copy though, which, you know, as much as that's a great fight for Team Envy, they are only gonna have one strategist ult. They have everything else, so they, you know, they should be in a decent spot. But NK without the whale, Sleepy without the
bro, what are
copy,
these spots, dude?
This actually looks like a potentially difficult.
I have never
fight.
seen this in my
Gonna
life.
have double support ultimate, gonna be very hard to evict from the payload, and Envy gonna have to hold
like
on.
what?
Need to see a very defensive ultimate. I think
this is crazy.
Needs to get perfect value.
See Cal right now just playing terrain editor in the top line, looking for peaks. Hogs though, under bit pressure, still has a shield in reserve. Looking to end it here and now. Meteor M, not gonna get it this time. Kurova using Fate of both worlds. Sentinels trying to put away.
No way. There's gonna be one more fight. One more fight.
It is death from above. Meteors and crows raining on in for Envy as they stand.
One more fight. Sentinels has Aramori. She is the
It's gonna be Aramori with the copy here, so essentially
she's the win con here, really.
Gonna be available here. Envy, they don't have any ultimates to work with. This last fight is going to be a real challenge. They want to get some spawn kills, want to deny Sentinels the touch, but it's going to be difficult here. At the same time, Sentinels need to get out of spawn and convert this ultimate into real kills to make this defense happen.
Aramori, Fate of both worlds, saying things up here for Sentinels. Off they go. Envy, meanwhile, NK has the horn ready. Will be an unassisted horn. Wants to wait out the Fate of both worlds before dropping it. Throws it in the backline, gets banked. Is Amazing.
GG. And Sleepy gets all. Has Luna. Gets a whale. Oh, it's not actually over. Hold on. Hold on. What about like 4 seconds left?
Right now,
no, it's over. Wait, Cal got Aramori. Hold on.
There's a chance. Oh, but not anymore.
Yeah,
that was close.
It would have been hard to stay in the car. I think that is pretty much a C9. I think that was almost winnable there for Envy, but with Hogs coming up on the
How old is Remix? He's like 55.
In the end, with the
so they say.
Distance from spawn that the attack.
That was a close match.
Close map.
It was close. It was close. It was close.
Sentinels gonna be up 2-0 in the series, and wow, this is serious signs of life.
We might have a Sentinels versus 100 Thieves rematch in the fight night.
Duelists are allowed to really shine. I think Cal had a fantastic map there. So did NK. Look at those damage numbers. I mean, monster damage numbers from the duelists. But the team play, the awareness from Sentinels, that's historically been their strength, and it shines through for the victory today.
Yeah, I think for Sentinels, though, you look at this version of Envy, and you're